everyone and welcome to your Pilates Improvers class. So today is all about standing work, glute strength and balance. So when you're ready, make sure your space is safe and let's go. We are going to look at hip work, I'm going to look at glute work. There's a few things that I want us to look at as well, but in general it's just about getting us moving and also kind of finding a little bit more space in those places that feel a little bit stiff. I don't know about you, but working from home I find like these areas get super tight across the back, so I'm going to try and find a little bit more space here and also a little bit more space here. Obviously to find space at the front means we have to kind of engage the back a little bit and vice versa. Alright, so feet are, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Feet are going to be hip distance apart, and again I apologise for my head being cut off of the camera, but I promise I am still here. So your feet are hip distance apart. We're going to slide those hands down towards the knees. Knees are going to track over the toes and we are going to slide down. Now my palms are going to be facing in towards one another, pressing the wrist onto the front of the knee. You'll find out why in a second. And then what I want us to notice is the weight is we're kind of feeling those quads more than anything else. The chest is still lifted, and then we're going to squeeze those glutes to slide ourselves all the way back up. My hands are just staying connected to the fronts of the thighs, and then we roll the shoulders up and we roll them back and down and create this kind of arc around the pockets of the trousers. Roll them down. We then slide ourselves down. We breathe out. We breathe in, and then we breathe out, stand up. We breathe in to lift the shoulders and breathe out. We roll it down, slide those hands down, breathing in and then breathing out. Breathing in to lift, breathing out to roll it down. Again, if shoulders are a problem, maybe we can just lift and gently lower. Let's try that 3 more times. Breathing in. Feel that rib cage expand. We can maybe reach a little bit further until the forearms reach the knees. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And slide it down. So sliding down. This time take the weight into the heels a little bit more. And again, really still focus on the lower belly. Breathing out. Breathing in to lift. And breathing out. One more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in to lift. And breathing out. Good, lovely. This time we're going to breathe in, slide it down, but we're going to take those elbows down onto the knees, kind of partially sitting. And what I'm going to get us to do is, again, be very careful that you're not jabbing the elbows into a point which is really, really uncomfortable. We're going to allow one arm to drop, and we're going to roll the shoulder up, back and down. So we've got a roll of the shoulder, and again, if it's available to you, we can circle the elbow or we can circle the arm. 3 different options here. Again, if this is uncomfortable for the thighs, please feel free to also do the standing, but we want to get a little bit of heat through those thighs. So rolling it up, back and down. Most important thing here is that we don't have one leg bent and one leg straightening. We will come to that in a second. Good, lovely. One more time. Breathing out. Good, lovely. Bring yourself back. And then breathe out to stand up. Feel the heat across the thighs. Again, breathing in, sitting it down. Again, taking a small twist. Roll the shoulder, or with the elbow, or with the arm. Good, breathing in and out. If you get a bit motion sick, you can stay looking down, but just be aware of the tension of the neck as well. Rolling up. One last time here. Breathing in and breathing out to stand all the way up. Good, lovely. Standing up. This time I'm going to take those feet slightly wider. And I'm going to get you just to keep those feet again in parallel facing forward. So we're going to send the hips forward. If you can, you're going to bring the arms across the chest, like so. And again, leading with the elbows and the chest,
we're going to lift our hands, which are crossed like so. We're going to lift those hands up towards the ceiling. Now, what I want you to do is take a little lift of the elbows, but not obviously all the way up towards the ceiling. So the elbows should just be pointing forward. We take a lovely breath out and a breath in here. And the idea is that we want to really see if we can, music just had a dramatic turn there. Breathing in to lift. And then breathe out to come down. Elbows are going to be really heavy, and you're going to pull your belly button back, chin in towards chest, and when we go halfway, we can let those arms go and let them hang. Take a nice breath in here. It's like a wide roll down and a wide swan dive. Breathing into the back of the body and then breathe out, roll up. Again, when you get halfway, cross the other hand over. Breathing in to lift. And breathe out. Chin in towards chest. Pull the belly button in. And when we're halfway, let them hang. Breathing in. And pull the belly button all the way back. Notice you can engage your belly button without engaging your glutes. We roll ourselves up. We cross the hand over. Breathing in, lift the rib cage. Keep the belly button down. Release those glutes as well. Breathing in. And then breathing out. Chin towards chest. Roll it down. Let those arms hang heavy. And then roll it all the way up. Last time here. Rolling it up, breathing in. And again, see if you can find length between the ribcage and the hips without sending the sit bones back. And then breathing in. And breathing out. Good, lovely. Again, just letting yourself hang here. And what I'm going to get us to do is just swing from side to side. Feel free to bend those legs if you'd like to. Swing from side to side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to reach the arms around towards the back of the leg. I kind of guess that's probably the best way to explain it. But keep those hips still. Swing around, swing around, swing around. And again, this is just for that little space between the hips and the rib cage. Good, fabulous. If we can, let's see if we can straighten those legs and continue to swing, keeping those hips still. We're going to reach across to one side of the body. It's going to be a little bit higher. It's going to be around the thigh. So from here, chin in towards chest. Keep that hip back. Walk that hand down. Walk the hand down. Keep fighting the hip as we walk the hand down. Pull the belly button in. And then we walk the hand up. We walk ourselves all the way up to standing. And we change to the side. We come down, pull the hip back, walk our hand down. You'll notice that you'll have to rotate a little bit, but try your best to allow the chest to rotate, but the hip to stay back. Walking down. How far can we reach whilst pulling the belly button back? Breathing in. And then breathing out to the other side. Chin in towards chest, roll down in that side bend. Keep that hip back. Rotate the upper body forward, pull the belly button back. Can we reach a little bit further? Walking it all the way up. Stabilizing through the leg to twist. And one more time. Chin down, hip back, chest can rotate. Rock it forward. And then walk it all the way back up. Bringing it up nice and tall and taking it back. Lovely. Bring your feet together. I'm going to get you to come towards the front of your mat. So we've kind of stabilized through the legs. We've talked about kind of twisting, and there's a reason for that as well. But what I'm going to get you to do is bring your feet together. Well, kind of not together, just a lot narrower than hip distance. So you should have, I want to say, a fist distance between. So it feels like a little bit of a narrower position. If you feel like balance is a problem in this, take your feet wider. If we can, we're going to step one foot and tap it towards the ankle. So I'm going to face you. Tap towards the ankle. Yeah, so tapping towards the ankle. And if we can, we're going to drag that foot all the way up towards the knee. Notice that the hip doesn't lift, keep the hip down. We're then going to extend it forward, flex the foot if you can. And squeezing through the quad, we're going to sweep it down, keep it lifted, make sure that the front of the body is lifted so the heel just scrapes across the floor, and we send that leg back. Don't think about height, but just think about squeezing back, almost like a glute kick back. You'll notice that the chest is slightly pitched forward, but if we can, hips will go forward, but the back will lift. Of course, lower that leg if we need to, and then we bend that leg in, and then we straighten everything up. We come back through to the knee, squeeze the glute on the standing leg, extend as we flex. How high you lift that is up to you. We then sweep it down. We breathe out, pull the belly button in, lengthen through the back. And again, the lift comes from the glute, not from the lower back going. Lengthen through the chest. Bend that leg in, keep it in parallel, and bring it forward. Point the foot 2 more times. Extend and press. Sweep it back. Good, again, we should be feeling it. Glute, calf, not so much in the lower back if at all. Lengthen, 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 bend the leg, point the foot. Lift it one last time, press it forward, sweep it back. Squeeze to lift, bend the leg in, bring it in, and hold it there, just hovering ever so slightly away from the floor. We're going to circle the foot on the floor. Again, that movement is coming from the knee, it's not coming from the hip. Yeah, so movement from the knee. Good, lovely. And then changing direction from the knee. If we can, we're going to take those arms out, either low or out to the side. Good, nice. Fabulous. 3, 2, and 1. Lower that leg down. And changing sides, so bringing that foot up towards the ankle. Make sure that as we lift that foot up, we don't lift the hip as well. Keep it down, lift it up. I can't even balance on this leg. Oh, but it's fine. That's what balance is. Focus and breath. I think that's the most important thing. Squeeze to lift again. It's going to come from the hip flexor. Keep that hip down. Lengthen up through that standing leg. Lift that knee. Flex that foot and press it forward. Sweep it down. I'm going to kick the wall if I stay here. Sweep it down. Pressing it back again. Long hip, long back. Squeezing through the glutes. Lifting through the chest. Again, abdominals engaged. Bend the leg. Bring that knee in. Again, that foot as high as we can. Keeping those hips down. And then extend that leg forward. Press it forward. Sweep it down. Bringing it back. Flex foot for a little bit more engagement. Bringing it through. Good, lovely. Lift that knee, press it forward. Breathing out to sweep it back. Good, last one. Bending the leg in. Press it forward as you breathe in. Flex the foot as you breathe out. Pass it through that midline and pressing it back. Bend that leg in. Bringing it in and hover that leg. Keep the hip still. Circle through the knee. It's quite small, it's quite quick, and it's again just to test that balance. So circling, arms can be down, hip stays still. And let's change the direction. Good, lovely. Notice how we have to switch that midsection on to help support the glutes as well. Circle it round. Good, 3, 2, 1, and bring it down. Lovely. All right, let's step a foot back. So stretching one foot back. If we can, really peel through those toes, stretch that heel all the way back. Now, the wider your position, the harder it is to come back. but I'm going to encourage you to take a nice long wide position to stretch through that heel and also stretch through the hip at the back as well. Again, make sure that as we stretch through that hip, let's make sure that the hip hasn't lifted, so everything that we've just done does still apply. Okay, again, focus, breath. If we can, the arms are going to help coordinate as well. So all we're going to do with those legs is transfer it forward through the ball of the foot and then transfer that weight into that front leg. Again, nice and calmly, transfer it forward and then bring it back. Nice and simple. We want to try and make it so that it is less push and catch. We want to try and make it as smooth as possible. Reach it forward and then reach it back. So we're getting a little bit of, I'm going to just make sure that that is still playing, and I'm going to move myself away from that plant. So it's more about finding that nice constant flow, reaching it forward and then bringing it back. So we have a nice lovely stretch here. If we can, as we stretch back, we're going to take that little opening that we did in the beginning of the class, except without the elbows here, and the hands are back. Squeezing. And then it means that we have to close the rib cage, sweep those hands down and reach them forward. And again, your arms can reach down. If it's available, reach them forward, shoulder blades retracted back. If we can, every time we reach forward, we want to see if we can lengthen that leg just a little bit more. We're then going to place that leg down, transfer that weight, and open up again. And again, that opening can be here if it's available. It means that we can just reach it forward and hit a plank or two and reach. Now the end goal here, if possible, is we're going to have that bent standing leg, working the glute, leg and arms are lifted. Placing it down, open it out, and open it. So that is my end goal. It might not be yours. We're going to take 3 more. If we can, we're going to take a lovely long breath in, breath out to get there. A breath in, breath out to hold, and a breath in, breath out to come back. So let's try 4 more, all in that standing leg. All right, here we go. Breathing in. Close those rib cages and then breathe out. Breathe in to hold or lengthen and breathe out. Breathing in, lower that leg and breathing out. Now you may be feeling, so keep going, you might be feeling these muscles switch on and it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. But those are your erector muscles, and they are the muscles that support and stabilize the spine. They're meant to work, but they're also meant to be stretched as well. So what I tend to find is that when these start to fire on, it's because something else either isn't working or something else is tight. So we will be looking at that with some stretches, so hopefully we can switch those off. Close, reach. Bring it down and open back. Good. Lovely. Stepping that foot in and changing sides. Stepping it back. Now we always tend to do the side that we like the most first. So we'll see how this one goes. So chest is forward. Again, acknowledge how wide your foot needs to be for the ankle. Again, flexion of the foot is a difficult one, especially if we spend so much time sitting down at the moment. I notice that my feet are a little bit tight. And take those arms wherever you feel like you need them for your breath in and your out as you extend. Again, it could be here, it could be here, it could be here, wherever you feel is most comfortable. We then close those rib cages, reach it forward, and then slide it forward. Again, take your time. Reach. Are you nice and stable on this leg or not? Breathing in to lower, transfer that weight back into the heel, and then open. I'm going to do 4 more. Good. again, we can see this as glute work for the standing leg. We could see it as glute work for the working leg, the leg in the air. We could see this as knee stabilizing exercises, coordination, focus, lots of things going on here. Good, lovely. And one final one here. And then down. Good, lovely. I'm going to step your feet in. I'm going to get you to cross a foot over. Now we're going to do our sit down. However, we're going to do it slightly differently. So we're going to cross a foot over. And we're not going to sit down all the way. I know some of us have done this one before. So we're going to cross that foot over, sit down, that knee will cross in. We're going to sit down as far as we feel comfortable, and then we're going to stand back up. Now, if that's uncomfortable for the knee, what I'm going to get you to do is cross a foot much further behind, rotate it in, tap that knee down and up. So you've got two different options. You've got cross that knee in nice and tight, sit it down, your shin comes onto the floor, be aware of the knee, or you have the option of crossing over, rotate onto the little toe, it's kind of like sickling almost. We then place that knee down and up. We're going to try 4 on each side, whatever variation you're going to do, okay? Right, which leg do I want to start with? Okay, here we go. We breathe in to lift up nice and tall, square off the shoulders and the hips, breathing out, sit down, hover, and then press through that front foot. We then cross the other foot in front, and we sit down with the other foot. Breathing in to lift up, and then breathe out, hips go down, head goes up. Think about that tall posture as much as you can. Doesn't matter if we just come to here, it's that space here, and then standing up, crossing it over, and hips square, lovely, and then sitting on down. Again, if it's too much for the knees, a normal lunge will do. Good, nice. And then again, your breath in, breath out to stand up. Cross that leg over, breathing in to lift, out to come down. In to hold ever so slightly, and then out to come back up. One last time on each side if we can. Breathing in and breathing out, sitting on down. Good, nice. Breathing in to stay down, out to lift up. Final time to balance ourselves out. Cross the leg. Find the space between the hips and the ribs that we always talk about. Sit on down, breath in, and breath out, standing on up. Fabulous. All right, shake it out. Okay, so this is where I'm going to use my mat, and I'm going to use it for the heels. Yeah, so we have done this one before. If your thing that you're using is either too big, and my mat is quite big, I'm going to roll the mat up that I'm using, or the rug, or the towel, whatever it is that I'm using, and I'm just going to roll it up, just so that my heels can be elevated, okay? We're going to sit ourselves down. Again, you might not need to do this. Your feet are going to be slightly wider than your hips. Feet are turned out, and if we can, we're going to sit on down into a nice, lovely deep squat. Lovely deep squat. And again, if this is uncomfortable, what you can do is you can sit down and you can hug your knees in towards your chest. You can also use the wall as well. But this is just quite a nice way to get those hips sitting down. Good, let's take a little stretch for the backs of the legs as well. If we can, we're going to take our hands around the outside of our ankles like we would in seal. So I've got my hand wrapped around the front, and I'm trying my best to grab a hold of the back of my Achilles. And again, that might be uncomfortable for the shoulders. So if you can, you're going to take your fingers and just gently rest them underneath the big toe. Chin in towards chest, pull the belly button back, breathe out, stretch it here. This is like a standing spine stretch. If we can, place weight down into the big toes and give a gentle bend of the arms to stretch through the hamstrings. And then bend the legs, pull the belly button back, sitting back down. And then chin in towards chest, pull the belly button back, round and through the back. And again, when we're ready to breathe out, pull those elbows behind and round yourself forward. Good, breathing in to bend, breathing out to bend. Breathing in to hold here, and breathe out, stretch, pull the belly button back. You'll notice there's space between the chest and the thighs, and when you're ready to do so on your next exhale, pull your chest closer to the thighs, elbows either out to the side or back towards the mat behind you. Good, one last time, breathing in, bend the legs. Breathing out, stretch the legs, create that space between the chest and the thighs. Breathing in here. And pull your chest down towards the thighs, down towards the shins, crown of the head towards the floor. Nice stretch of the backs of the legs. And then bring it back down to a squat position. Just placing one hand down and the other. And we're going to bring ourselves onto our backs. So this is where you will need your rolled up device. Rolled up device, and all you're going to do is lie it across your back. Now how am I going to show you this? I have no idea. But lie it across your back. I always like to say it's kind of like around the, I say bra strap, but sports bra, whatever it is that we use, or bottom of the shoulder blades if we don't wear either. You know, because we work from home. So we're going to lie ourselves down. A good little indicator is that you should be able to place your elbows kind of in front of it rather than behind it. And then from there, rest yourself down. Now, if your thing is as big as mine, then what I want you to do is grab something to place your head underneath, or you can support your head with your hands. So dropping it down. And what you should notice is that the rib cage is open. Your thing might not be as big as this, and that's fine. But taking those arms wherever we feel comfortable. Step those feet in. And as always, when we're in this exposed position, we really want to pull the belly button back. So drawing the belly button back. If you can, we're going to hug a right knee in towards the chest. Feels a bit strange because we're technically in extension. We're trying to flex the hip. That hit like a Disney twist. I'm going to turn the music down, but stay there. Sounded like Elsa was coming out of the forest there. So hug the knee in towards the chest. If we can, we're going to extend the leg up. Again, it feels very strange to be in extension whilst the hip is in flexion. That's okay. We're going to lengthen that leg down. Heel lightly taps. And then we're going to bring that leg back up. We're not going to move anything here. Arms just go wherever you feel like you need them to go. If your arms are up and overhead, it's a little bit more work for the spine and extension. But again, go wherever you feel like you need them to be. So all we're doing is lowering and lifting the leg. It's quite nice. If we can, we're going to take the hands around the back of the head and the elbows are pointing forward. So as we lower the leg, we curl ourselves up. So we lower the leg, we curl ourselves up. Pull the belly button down, press the rib cage in towards the rolled mat or whatever it is that we're using. Breathing in, lower the leg, or lower the body, lift the leg, sorry. Breathing out, curl the upper body, then lower. Lift the leg, then lower the upper body. Breathing out, lower the leg. Breathing in, lift the leg, lower the body. One more time, curl it up, lower the leg, and then breathe out, lift the leg, lower the body. Good, nice. From there, place that foot down and change legs. We're going to do 4, just lowering the leg. Again, place those arms wherever you feel like it is comfortable to do so. If you want a little bit more of a chest opener and shoulders are okay, keep those hands where they are. Breathing in and then breathing out to lift. Again, it feels weird because the ribs are exposed, which is something we don't normally do, but keep the abdominals pulled down, keep the hips heavy on the floor. Good, breathing in. And again, it's more an upper back extension. It should not be sitting in your lower back. So if you feel like you need to adjust it or you feel like you need to take it out, please do. Good, lovely. If we can, let's close those elbows, lift the head, pull the leg down, and then keep your body where it is, lift the leg and lower. It's quite a nice variation. Lift the upper body, lower the leg, lift the leg, lower the body. The thing underneath your shoulder makes it a little bit more uncomfortable to roll up, but it does make it easier. Lift the leg, lower it down. One last time. Lower the leg, lift the leg, and lower the body. Good, lovely. Placing again those hands wherever you feel comfortable to do so, and those legs are flat. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. And again, if we can, rocking those hips from side to side. If it's possible, I'm going to get you to place your left foot flat on the floor, your right knees out to the side. And you're just going to press yourself up and move your hip ever so slightly onto that right side of the hip. So you've gone from hips being square, little lift, and you're popping your right glute down onto the floor. So your left foot is flat. You should notice that the glute on your left side is away from the floor. Make sure that you have not moved up or down. And then we're going to bring our knees together, seeing if that's possible. Again, do whatever we need to do with the arms in order for this to be comfortable. And then from there, we're going to extend the leg. So let's do hip twist, but down on the floor. If we can, we're going to tap the foot down. Again, it feels like it's really far away. The floor feels really far away. Find that stretch. We're then going to squeeze the glute, lift it all the way up, and take it up just towards the ceiling, and then back down. So again, if this is too much, opening out, do roll yourself onto the side, lift, make sure we haven't rolled the hip back. So chest is open, roll it down, and lift. Bring it down, quick and small, and lift. Bring it down, and lift. One more time, bring it down, and lift. Leave that leg where it is, bring that leg up to meet it, so that that leg is now flat on the floor, leg bent. Bend the leg, stretch the other leg. Actually, let's not stretch the other leg yet, because we need to roll over onto the other side. Drop your knee out, press your foot into the floor, roll yourself over. And again, the reason we've done that variation is just it's a little bit more of a rolly massage type thing. And then lift and bring that knee in. Make sure that you can feel the rib cage on the side of the mat that you've got. This arm can do whatever it needs to do to be comfortable. Open that leg. Am I going to have enough space? Of course not. Stretching and pointing that foot, lifting that leg up, and then bringing it down. So stretching that leg up, keep going and bringing it down. And again, we've got that abduction to the side, just working the outside of the hip. Good. Lift it up. And again, the whole idea of this is just getting a little bit more range of motion, but also using the muscles on the side. Lift it up and down. And it's quite gentle actually. Lift it up and down, lift it up and down. One more time, lift it up. Bring that left knee with it. Good. Lovely. And then bend it down. I'm going to get you just to reach your arms up and over. Roll yourself up. Use those thighs if you need to. And we're going to move that thing out from underneath you. And then we're going to roll ourselves back down. If you've been using a headrest, please remove. And again, notice the difference between your back and the floor now. All right. Now, let's look at shoulder bridge. A slight different variation. As always, do the variation that works for you. You can do your normal standard shoulder bridge. You can stay there if you want to. But we're just going to do three normal ones. If we can, reach those arms up or over if it's comfortable to do so. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out, roll it up, pull the belly button back, and then press the feet into the floor, rolling up. Ponytail in the wrong place again, roll it up, squeeze those hips, and then bring it all the way back down. So again, 2 more just like that. And again, this is something that we have done many times before, but it's nice just to check in with this variation. Good, lovely. This final one, roll it up and hold. Wherever your arms are, we're going to hug the left knee in towards the chest. Feels weird, feels like you want to drop down. Keep pressing that hip up and keep pulling that knee in. We lower the hips down, lightly tap the floor, press the foot into the floor to lift. Try your best to keep that knee in, but of course, if it does come away, don't worry about it. Just focus on that standing leg. Lowering down and lifting up to breathe out. If this is too much, you can release the leg and just come into a tabletop position with that leg, but let's do 3 more here. Breathing in, lightly tap the hips. Not that shoulder bridge version as we roll down and roll up that way, but this is just tap and lift, all one unit. Tap and lift. One final one, tap and lift, placing those elbows or those hands down and lift that leg, flex to lower, just like we did in one of the first exercises. Lower it down and lift. See if you can keep those hips nice and high. Lower it down and lift. 2 more, lower it down and lift. Last one, lower it down and lift. Bend that leg in, little lift up, sort out the feet, and then roll yourself down. Good, nice. If we need to, roll from side to side, hug those knees in, full body stretch. And let's get ready to go on the other side. Breathing in, reaching those arms all the way up. In fact, you know what? We've done 3, we've said it. Bring the hands down. Let's take 1. Roll yourself up. Reach those arms, hug your knee in towards the chest. Or again, tabletop. Ooh. Hug the knee in. Lower the hips. And lift. Lower the hips. And lift. Good. Lower it down and lift. Fabulous. Let's try 3 more here. This is still music from The Office. I like it. All right. Down and lift. Final one. Lower it down and lift. Holding it up here. Lengthening that leg all the way up, keeping those hips high. Lower it down towards directly in front of you as you breathe in. Keep those hips up and breathe out to lift. Good, lovely. Keeping those hips nice and square, breathing in to come down and breathing out to lift. We're going to do 2 more in your own breathing time. Breathing in to come down, out to lift. 1 final time, in to come down. Lovely, out to lift. Place the foot down, keep those hips high, knees forward, and then roll yourself all the way down. Good, lovely. We're going to miss out some side lying stuff, and you're going to roll yourself onto your front. Onto your front. It's up to you. If you have a small pillow like this, you might want to place your forehead down. I know that sometimes the yoga blocks can be too big, so you might just feel comfortable to place your face down on the floor. I know wearing glasses, it's a bit of a nightmare sometimes. So placing something that might kind of keep me here, that might be good. We can also just lie ourselves down on the floor. Okay, so resting down. And again, if we can, we're going to take those hands a little bit lower. Reason for that is that I want to avoid the shoulders creeping up, elbows pressing down. Again, swan dive variation. If we can, we are going to bring those hands a little bit closer in. Elbows are lifted, but definitely trying to go down. Abdominals pulled in, glutes squeezed. Take a lovely breath in to lift. And a breath out to lower. Now, if you want a little bit more of a relaxing rather than stabilizing, what you can do is take those hands and legs a little bit wider, press those elbows down, and you can take a little Sphinx pose here, or you can press yourself up using those triceps as a little bit of engagement to bring yourself up. So we're thinking range of motion here, we're thinking stabilizing and strength here. Whichever variation you are doing, we're going to do 3 more. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out to come down. In to lift. And out to come down. Think crown of the head lifting up, and then it goes up towards the ceiling, nose forward. One more time, lift it up. As we come down, place those hands one on top of the other, resting down. We're going to bend one leg. So it doesn't have to be high, it can be somewhere towards the diagonal. Foot is going to be flexed. So whatever position you start in, that is the position you'll stay in. So if I'm here, I'm not going to bend it in. So I'm going to press my hip bones down into the floor. And I don't know if it's because I'm wearing baggy trousers, but what I'm going to get you to do is noticeably lift that knee away from the floor. If your leg is bent, you're going to feel your hamstring. So if you want to, go ahead and straighten that leg. Squeeze to lift and down. So you've got a couple of different options. Squeeze straight, squeeze slightly bent, or squeeze completely bent. Yeah. We're going to press the ceiling or the wall away as we breathe out. We breathe in to lower. We breathe out. We breathe in to lower. We breathe out. We breathe in. 3 more. Breathing in to lower, out to lift, or out to press. I think press is a better word to use here. Again, we want to feel it in the belly of the glute, however your hamstrings will switch on. Okay? Good, fabulous. Last one, breathing out. And down. Good, lovely. Just rest that leg down. Now, if you did the straight leg option, what I'm going to get you to do is bend the leg ever so slightly. If you want to be straight up to the ceiling, you can. If we can, we're going to point. Let's point the foot. I was going to say flex, but I feel like pointing will work. So point to lift. We're then going to leave the knee at the height that it is. We're going to open out to the side. Now, what I want you to do is avoid twisting and avoid placing the foot down. In an ideal world, our foot would be on the back of our leg, not knee lifted. It's pretty tough though. So we're going to be here. Open that knee out without moving through the hips or the spine. Opening out, bringing it back and down. Now you'll notice my external rotation is terrible, but that's fine. So my knee doesn't open as much as I'd like it to, but we can always try. Keep the leg that is not working activated. It'll keep you nice and solid. So draw those abdominals up, shoulders away from ears, bend the legs. Breathing out to press the foot up. Notice there's no weight on the leg, but it's nice and activated. We then open the knee out to the side. Bring that foot across the body. Keep that knee high. Keep that knee high. Bringing it back. And down. Good. Bend that leg in. Press that foot up towards the ceiling. That foot will just gently come across as the knee comes out to the side. Keep those hips square. Can your foot come a little bit lower? Keep that knee off the floor. And then bringing it back. And lower it down, straighten the leg out. One more time, bend the leg, press it up as you breathe out. Knee out to the side, foot going out across. Good, keep the hips square, abdominals engaged, shoulders relaxed, bringing it back and extending it down.
Good, nice. We're gonna do everything on the other side, okay? So again, you've got your straight leg lift, slightly bent or completely bent, and this is just to activate those hamstrings, glutes. Make sure your hips stay still, your shoulders are relaxed. And again, let's start to lift that leg. So if we can, we're gonna breathe out to lift. And again, as always, that leg was straight, or it is slightly bent or completely bent. Pressing it up and down. Press it up and down. And what I love about this small motion, one, you don't have to do a lot to feel the work, and two, it tells you a lot about how your lower back in connection to your hips and your pelvis are feeling. So for example, for me, that right side, I can lift much further into extension than on the left. That could be a glute problem. It could also be that I have always had a slight problem with the left side of my back, kind of connecting in the back of the pelvis. So that could be the problem. And it's not like, oh God, I can't do this exercise. It's just something that you might notice. So even though it's a small exercise, I think it's pretty good. Good, lovely. Next time you lift it up, if your leg is bent, you're going to go straight into that knee opening. If your leg is straight, bend the leg, press the foot up as you breathe out, open the knee out to the side as much as you can. Again, that foot does move, but the knee has to stay away from the floor. And then bring it back, lower it down. If you need to, stretch that leg, ease off. If you can, breathe out, lift the foot. Drop the knee to the side. Open the knee up again, and then lower it down. 2 more times. Breathing out to lift, in to open the knee, out to open the knee, in to bring it back, and out to lower it down. Last time, breath in here, breath out, lift it up, knee out to the side, and out, and down. Good, lovely. Lengthen both legs out for me, and you've got 2 options. We've either got small quick swims of the feet in parallel, or you've got small beats of the heels. So if you're doing the beats of the heels, what I want you to do is, instead of having your feet in parallel, tops of the feet resting down, you're going to turn it out so that your little toe is resting down on the floor. Yeah, so instead of being here, oh, it's not your little toe, that's inverted. Alright, because I was thinking about my little finger. Your big toe is going to be down on the floor. So either parallel, hip distance apart, or small swims. You've got that nice activation of the glute there. Or if you'd like to, turn those legs out. We also get into the glute med as well. If you are doing this version, of course we're not going to swim here. We're going to beat those heels together. So we're going to get a nice little bit of work for the inside thighs as well. So you pick. We're going to rest the body down. We're going to lengthen those legs either in parallel or turned out. Pubic bone is nice and heavy on the ground. And we're going to tap or swim. Here we go. So breathing out for 4 if you're tapping those heels in for 4. It's kind of like 100 breaths. In and out. If you're here, we breathe in and we breathe out. Keep going. In, out, legs straighten. And out, good. Last 2 sets. And out. Last 1. And out. Good, lovely, rest it down. You're gonna bring yourself up to a child's pose. However, it's going to be a wider child's pose position. So knees are slightly wider. Reach those arms forward. Fingertips if you can. Good, lovely. And if we can, we're going to bring our weight onto our hands. I'm going to leave my knees where they are. I've got 2 different options here for you. Okay, so if we can, we've got our lovely box position, slightly wider knees. Bring your left knee towards your left wrist and cross the leg over. So I don't know if you can see. Left knee to left wrist, foot down towards knee. So we're creating like a diagonal line from left hand down to right knee with the foot. Option number 1 is we just sit ourselves down and we stay in this kind of, I suppose, 4th position. Obviously if we're here, what I want you to do is try and twist, like so. If you
can, however, what I'm going to get you to do is come down into that lovely pigeon stretch. So, making sure I'm not kicking everything behind us. We're going to wiggle that foot back, and we're going to see if we can sit that front hip down towards the foot, and we're also going to see if we can sit that glute down as well. So you'll notice instead of being here, where we are directly in line, I'm trying to sit that hip down. So you might need to take those hands wider, sit it down. I need to shuffle forward, I haven't got enough room. Sit it down. So we're getting a stretch across the glute that we've just worked. We're also getting a stretch across the front of the hip as well. If this is uncomfortable for the knee, please do come to the variation that we did, which is here. If this is the problem, flexion of the knee, then we can also come to a little side stretch here as well. So 3 different options. Good, lovely. If we can, let's try to bring a little bit of extension of the spine forward, lift the chest, and then if we can, chin in towards chest, bow our thumbs forward. But again, I think for me, I kind of lose the stretch here, so you can keep yourself lifted. Obviously, extension is going to make it a little bit more challenging. Breathing out makes it a little bit more relaxing as we pitch forward. But again, that can just be a roundedness of the upper back. And it could be a full spinal flexion, like so. Yeah, so it could look like a bow. Good. Fabulous. If we can bring yourself into that extension, I'm going to get you to come round onto, so for example, my left knee is in front. I'm going to bring my left hand down, and I'm going to try my best to lift that leg away from the floor as soon as possible, and then bring it round. It's quite a hard one. Yeah, nice. Lovely. We're then going to bring ourselves back, not very creatively or gracefully, bring ourselves back into that wide-kneed position. Bring that opposite knee towards the wrist, and again create that diagonal line across from hand to knee. And again, sitting down in that 4th position, or sliding that leg back, and again, transferring that glute down to the floor, and then sitting up tall. And again, if we can, squaring off the shoulders, lifting through the chest here. If we need to, we can also come down. Again, some of us feel a little bit more coming down. But again, if we reach those hands further forward and just lift the chest up a little bit, we can still feel it there. If we can, just drop the chin in towards the chest, or you can bend completely further forward. If you can, try your best to rotate that back leg in and under, so the knee is going straight down. And then breath out, coming down. One more time, breathing in. Breathing out. This time as we lift, transfer that weight ever so slightly to that same side, and then let's squeeze that glute, lift that leg away from the floor, and bring your legs crossed. I'm just going to take a little roll around to finish with, and we're actually going to finish down on the floor today. So I almost kind of see this as like a little, I mean, I don't know if you remember those little machines that, not even so much a machine, you know, I used to put a penny in, or a 2p piece in, and it went round and round and round and round and round, and then it hit the bottom. That's what this makes me feel like. So if you want to round the back as we sit back, and then it's almost like we're trying to lead with the rib cage. And I'm moving my hands a little bit, just to provide a little bit more twist. And let's just do 2 in the opposite direction. Round we go. And round we go. Good. Ha! Nice. Nice work. Well done.
So well done, guys. That is your Pilates Improvers class done. Hopefully you feel like you have gained a little bit more strength in your glutes, in your standing positions, and also hopefully you feel like we have done a few more creative moves than our traditional Pilates mat work. So if you like that video, as you know, there are lots of other videos that I have online, not just Pilates, but bar and also fitness. videos as well, so do check them out if you have not already. Heading over to my YouTube page and just clicking subscribe and like will make sure that you get those videos straight away as soon as I post them. But as always, meet me back here at the mat for a different class if you fancy it, and I will see you all again very soon.